First of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee of this very interesting forum, especially Mr. Yiannakakis. We have collaborated a lot of times. This is yet another successful event, and I would like to congratulate you, and I hope that you will continue and that we will be able to collaborate in the framework of the National Union of Agricultural Cooperatives. Before starting with my speech, I would like to answer to my colleague, Mr. Kokkinos, who mentioned the cooperatives, and I would like to say to him that the law 4646 of 2019, Article 22, paragraph 2, makes any legal form company, and they are the same as the cooperatives if they are a recognized group of farmers. So if your own Société Anonyme is registered at the registry of the Ministry of Agricultural Development, you have the same tax benefits, and you also have 5% of taxation if you give if you allocate the earnings to your members. And I would like to say that all the cooperatives of Greece have the same framework. We care to see that our farmers are included in those legal forms and to find the best possible way to collaborate, no matter what their name is. So, this is what we did when last week we have passed a new bill the farmers that are included in various collaborative schemes that are registered in the ministry, either Société Anonyme or anything else, if they give 75% of their production to this cooperative, have tax reductions 50% to their income. This is a very important measure that helps all those collaborative groups and does not have the black market, which of course was something that damaged the healthy private trade. So, with this new bill of law, we give the opportunity to each and every farmer that collaborates with a private business, with contract farming in this framework, to have the same tax benefits. So, if you are a single farmer and you have a contract with Mr. Taktikos, a private business, in order to give 75% of their production there, at least for 1 year, they have the same rules regarding their taxation with a farmer which is part of a group of collectives. I think that this will give a new push for the creation of cooperatives or through private organizations, because we want to bring together our forces, because this will give us new perspectives to the primary sector. And when it comes to what Ms. Yiannakakis said, she mentioned a new weeding machinery, which is of course expensive, but it is very effective and protects the environment, and it has a low cost of operation that a single farmer cannot be bought, but a cooperative is able to invest and buy it. So, since through this market we are able to cover 80% of this cooperative, that can be included in a program and receive 100% funding from the European Union. I'm saying that because I want you to know that now, since the cooperative movement has been revamped, reorganized, we are trying to find solutions in order to promote innovation, precision farming, smart farming, in order to reach our goals. One of those goals is to reduce the need for labor force and also to reduce the labor cost. I cannot forget when my family, I come from Veria and we grew cotton, and I also worked in the fields manually, and we weeded, or when it rained before the cotton emerged, we tried to allow the crop to come from the soil, and when we irrigated and one by one the series, and we did that manually, and then when we were carrying the pipelines, and you understand that through all this mud it was very difficult, very arduous, and when we harvested cotton with our own hands, hundreds of workers harvested cotton by hand manually. And later on, we needed only 2 people. Now, with the use of technology, innovation is leading to needing less people, less human labor, less human capital, and this is the only way for farming in Greece to go forward, in my opinion. And I'm saying that since now we have difficulties in finding people to work on the fields. Patroklos Georgiadis, who is a person that we collaborate with, that in 2020 we did a huge effort in order to open the borders and bring workers, because the national production could have been destroyed. And I want to congratulate myself, because I was among the people who managed to solve this problem and lead it. I was one of the leaders. And when I wrote the letter as the president of the cooperatives, and we sent a letter to the Republic of Albania inviting workers to Greece, we were going to go to the hotspots and to find labor forces, and the Albanian government said, okay, yes, we are willing to open the borders, and the communication between Rama and Mitsopoulos was successful, and they agreed. So, with a special memorandum, as the cooperative of olive growers and the Albanian government helped towards this direction, we brought hundreds, thousands, if you wish, workers. 32,000 Albanian workers came to Greece. So for the first time we had the opportunity to register how many people come from our neighboring country, because they came with a tourist visa, they came on a legal basis in Greece, but they worked on the black market. So legally we have opened the work market for Albanian people in Greece, but we also found a problem, a challenge. Bulgaria, as a member of the European Union, did not have workers. They brought from Moldavia and other countries. And of course, Northern Macedonia has the same problem, and Albania now went to the countries of the Western Europe, because the money that they get there are much more compared to the money that we give them to Greece. So we have to find more sources. We discussed with Mr. Mitsotakis to go to Ukraine before the war, but unfortunately the war did not allow us to complete this effort. Ukraine sent 1 million workers every year to Poland with more or less the same wages that we give in Greece. So this is how we started the communication with Bangladesh and with the other countries. And at the end of the month I will go to Vietnam, because I heard that people from Vietnam go to Spain in order to see if we can also bring people from there. So the actions of the Ministry of Migration Policy are on the right track. When we do collaborate, things go really well. Unfortunately, sometimes red tape does not allow us to collaborate. and we will continue working together. However, the issue today is not the migration issue, it's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. After the memorandum with Bangladesh, we don't have an embassy in Bangladesh, we don't have a diplomatic representation in Bangladesh, so the people from Bangladesh who wants to come here and work would have to travel really a long way to New Delhi. How is this going to happen when the New Delhi embassy are only manned with 1 or 2 people? They are not enough to issue visas for Indian people who want to come to Greece for various reasons. So they cannot meet the needs of Bangladeshi land workers who want to come here and work. So I think that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs should find a solution, because they create much more solutions to the people who bring over fishery workers from Egypt. So Egypt should be looked with a different perspective from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the same goes for India and the New Delhi embassy. Therefore, now we have to ask more of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and they have to find solutions. Nevertheless, we should not depend only on foreign labor forces. We should try and in such a way that will allow us to need less workers and to reduce the costs, the labor costs. Shortly, the program for the recovery of economy for the primary sector that will give the opportunity to natural persons to buy infrastructure and tools, and they will receive 50% subsidized. So farmers, natural persons, can use this program in order to buy tools, to allow us to modernize the primary sector. Especially in my sector, peach trees, we are considering to buy some machinery in order to be able to cut down the branches of the trees, to buy special machinery in order to also help our trees, because in a branch with 7 or 8 peaches we have to leave only 2. Apart from the pruning machinery, also hydraulic platforms that will give us the possibility to move inside the farm as a production line, and the farmers will have to work in a specific way, reducing thus 50% their working hours during harvesting. All these have to be done in an organized way, and the only way to do that is through collectives and cooperatives. Now let's discuss precision farming. During the last years we have been listening again and again, innovation, drones, robots, and that reminds me the effort that we have done in 2007, 8 and 9 with the so-called other farming, when we try to include new crops to the farming sector, to leave the traditional crops behind, and we said that maybe we should introduce goji berries, blueberries, but not in an organized way, without a specific framework. And therefore a lot of people were destroyed because they didn't know the crops they produced without having a network for the distribution of those products, and we still have the last victims who try to find a way out to the markets, and this is not possible. Nevertheless, so every effort for the modernization of the farming sector using new farming can drones heavier than 25 kilos fly? No. So what should we do? We should change the legislative framework. Can I get vehicles, unmanned vehicles? No, this is difficult. We should promote line cultivation and line crops. This is why we have proposed, and Mr. Yiannakakis have accepted it, all modernizations to become in lines. because those trees, then it would be easier to cover them with specific meshes for extreme weather conditions, to install anti-freeze systems, and to implement any new application in order to reduce the cost and have the best possible yield. So the academia, research experts and big cooperatives should sit at the same table and discuss which would be the way forward. We should not continue without a plan. And last but not least, we should understand how we can utilize our products in the markets. I am the vice president of the second biggest cooperative after the Pindus with the chickens. We are exporting. We have 350 members, and we have been founded in 1964. We have 2 factories and 1,600 workers, which means that cooperatives, when they do not steal themselves, is something that works perfectly well in order to find a way to the foreign markets, because today in fresh products we are nowhere to be seen. We are non-existent. Especially in peaches, we are a minority. We export to Bulgaria, Romania, Ukraine, and now we have lost Ukraine, and a few fruit that we are selling to Germany, representing only 3%. So last but not least is to promote our products to the international markets through cooperatives and collectives, both of the public and the private sector. Thank you very much.